Hey guys! So I feel like it has been so long since I've done a video, and I think that it's super ironic because I feel like in most of the videos that I was doing, I was talking about how I was going to be so much more consistent and how I was going to just do better about making more videos. And then it's like I did all these videos and then I went on a super long hiatus. So I just want to say thank you all for subscribing. I think I've got like 10 subscribers, which is super exciting because I was not expecting that at all. But just being transparent, I've been super busy. I have been having some health problems, so that's been kind of taking a lot of my time and thoughts and just kind of consuming me. And for a while it kind of had me down just kind of mentally, and I just wasn't in the space to make videos. So that's something that I'm working through. So if you're a person of faith, if you will, just kind of keep me in your prayers. I have gotten some answers about what's going on with me. So it was for a long time I didn't know. I just knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what was wrong. So now I'm kind of getting some answers on what's going on. And I'm hoping that the treatment that they're getting ready to start me on will be beneficial and really just kind of heal my body. So I've been dealing with that, and then still school nursing. So the school year has been super busy. The COVID cases initially, like when school first started in August, they were pretty high. But then they started to go down. But now that the holidays and people are gathering more and we're seeing concerts and different things, now the cases are kind of increasing. So I've been super busy at work. And I don't know if you all can see my hoodie really good, but I have launched my business. So actually yesterday was the first day that I launched my business. So it's called Maggie Bell Nutrition and Wellness. And just basically, like the name says, it's a nutrition business. So for those that are interested in improving their health and wanting to learn how to eat holistically and without like the diet schemes and different things like that, then my business is for you. So I've been super nervous about launching it. So it's been on my heart for probably since the pandemic started. Probably earlier than that. But I started like really putting it into practice, like putting it, like getting it ready like the past year. And even then though, like, because I probably should have launched it even earlier than that, but I was super hesitant about it. And then kind of when I started having health problems too, I was like, well, isn't it kind of ironic that I'm about to be giving people health advice and my health isn't where it really needs to be? So I kind of battle with that, but I feel like the timing is right. And so I'm doing that. I have 3 clients that I am getting started with. So I've got my first client tomorrow. And then my other 2 clients, they want to wait till after the holidays. So hopefully it goes well. I think it will, because I keep telling myself, sorry, excuse my hair. It's braided up and I'm taking it down. I keep telling myself, like, a lot of people don't know, but I've been in the nutrition field for almost a decade, because I graduated from dietetic school in 2013, 2014. So I definitely have the knowledge. So I know what I'm doing, and I've been in nursing for a while too. So just those 2 things combined, I think, will really give me the tools that I need to be successful. But I did want to get on here because I was like, what am I going to talk about? Because I just really haven't sat down and thought about what I really want to talk about. But I want to do a video because I want to talk today about prepping for the NCLEX. So I have talked to a couple of my students at school that say that they're interested in nursing. And then somebody at my gym, one of my friends at my gym, was like, oh, my daughter wants to go into nursing. I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much that I can talk to them about. And then ironically, when my mom came over today and we were doing some cleaning, and I came up on my Kaplan NCLEX book, the practice book, and I was like, and I kind of just thought about it, and I was like, man, like, that's when it all kind of clicked, and I was like, let me do a video about how to prepare, or what I did to prepare for the NCLEX. So I was actually telling my student the other day when I was giving her advice about nursing schools, I was like, you want to look at schools that have a high NCLEX pass rate. And the reason you want to do that is because it doesn't matter what kind of education you get in nursing school. If it's the top tier, you know, the best nursing school that you can think of, it doesn't matter if their NCLEX rates suck. So it doesn't matter if you go to Duke University and the NCLEX pass rate is 55%. So that means that there's a disconnect somewhere, because it would be a shame, which I'm sure has happened to so many people, it would be a shame if you went through nursing school, you did all this work, you put the work in, you passed all the tests, you did what you needed to do, and then you can't pass the NCLEX. And that's happened to so many people. So first of all, when you're looking for nursing schools, I would just make sure that that's your top priority, is looking at the NCLEX pass rates. My school, when I first was like looking at nursing schools, my nursing school pass rate was not that great. It was like in the 70s. But I went ahead and did it because that was, to me, that was at the time the best fit for me. So that's why I went ahead and went to that nursing school. Would I advise that for everybody? I mean, that's up in the air. That, you know, I think each school is, because my school was transitioning from a diploma to an associate's, so I knew the curriculum was going to be a little bit different. So it was just some factors that went into that. But 70% in the 70% range is not that great to me. My class ended up being like in the 80s range. When we graduated, we had like 80% of us that passed the NCLEX, which was really good because we had a pretty big class. We had a really big nursing class. But when I was going through the rates with my student, like I circled the ones that were like 85% and higher. And that's what I would recommend for anybody, honestly. I would look for schools that have at least an 85% NCLEX pass rate. The 90s is even better, and that's the ones like I definitely like asterisk star, did everything for her when I saw those, because they're doing something right. Now, of course, it's going to be a little bit different because there are some super, hold on y'all, I'm multitasking, I'm on a Zoom for my church, and I gotta make this man, I gotta make Brother Mitchell co-host right quick. There are some schools that like they have 10 people and their pass rate will be 100%. Well, of course, because you get a lot more individualized attention. So of course your pass rates are going to be a lot higher. But and that's why I said for our group, we were like in the 80s, and we had a really big class. A big class in Arkansas for a nursing school. I want to say we might have had like 200, maybe like 150. I mean, we were a pretty big class. So for us, in the 80s was good. And so just kind of take that into consideration, the class size. But definitely, like I said, just do your research. Make sure that, like I said, I would go for 85% or higher, regardless of the class rate. But just kind of take in mind those that have that 95, that 100, if they have like 10 or 15 or 20 people in their class, that's for a reason, and they probably got a lot of individualized attention while they were in nursing school. Whereas if you go to a school like where I went, and because I think we like started with like 300, we started with a big class, but of course the longer you go, the more people you're going to knock out. And when we finished, like that's why I said I think we had like 200 or 150, I can't remember. But just kind of keep that in mind. So big thing. And so for those that are a lot further along, I would say this. So my senior year, so I took the NCLEX in January of 2017, and I graduated in December 2016. But really, I probably started prepping. So first of all, you're always prepping for the NCLEX, like how they work, questions on test, and just kind of the ultimate thing, you are studying for the NCLEX. You're studying to be a great nurse, and you're studying to pass the NCLEX. And so you're always preparing, but you're going to have to do some preparation on your own. So I knew we were graduating in December. So I probably started like doing practice questions a few months before. So maybe like October, because I had gotten my job. I'd gotten my first nursing job in October, even though I didn't graduate until December. So I knew, so the pressure was kind of on me. And so I knew that if I wanted to start working, if I didn't want to delay, that I was going to have to pass the NCLEX. So I probably started like studying for the NCLEX September, October. And then, so what I would do is I would just do like practice questions. I'm not gonna say that I did them every day, but I did try to stay pretty consistent with doing practice questions. And I think there was like probably like a app or like a website or something where you could do free NCLEX questions. And then of course in your books, we like at the end of each chapter, there would be like study questions or whatever. And so I would always make sure that I did those, just to kind of help get practice and to also prepare for the test. So that was helpful. And then, so I was doing those, I was being consistent with those. And then my college invited Kaplan out to do like a big review course. And I think they came, and for like 3 days straight, that's all we did was Kaplan review. And I think that was pretty helpful for the most part, but I didn't really like Kaplan. I ended up doing UWorld. So it's the letter U and then World, WORLD. And so I cannot remember who told me about UWorld, but when I graduated, I went ahead and I bought the software. At the time, it was like $75. It was pretty reasonable, but I'm sure it's gone up since then. And it generated questions for you that are supposed to be pretty similar to the NCLEX. So once I graduated, and I think I might have like taken, so I was like one of those people in nursing school where I always was studying. Like I was so driven and so consistent with studying because I knew that I wanted to be a nurse so bad. Like I just was one of those people that I just was super anal, always studying, always trying to stay ahead, because you know, if you get behind in nursing school, I mean, it's just super hard to get caught up. So I think I might have like, we graduated, I think it was like December 13th, 14th, and I might have like taken a couple days off, and then I immediately went into like study mode. And so I would go to the library and I would stay there for probably like 5-6 hours. So I maybe get there about 10, leave about 4 or 5 o'clock, and that whole time I'm just doing practice questions. And the ones I'm getting wrong, I'm really trying to assess and figure out, what did I do? Why did I get it wrong? And UWorld was super good about like their explanations of why you got it wrong. And so just being consistent with really trying to get an understanding of why I got it wrong. And even the ones that I got right, that I was kind of on the fence about, I'm, you know, looking at that rationale and trying to make sure that I understand, and that it just didn't happen to be luck of the draw that I got that correct. So I feel like UWorld was awesome, and I recommend that to anyone. And I also recommend being consistent and making sure that you're putting in the work to be successful and to pass. So for a month straight, so picking a school that has a great NCLEX pass rate, starting before you graduate, just being consistent with doing study or practice questions, not necessarily every day, but at least just kind of being consistent. Like, and even if it's just 5 or 10 questions a day, it doesn't have to be 50 or 60 or you're doing it for 4 or 5 hours. Like just doing 5 or 10 a day that adds up, because if you do 10 a day, that's 70 a week. And so the numbers just add up over time. And if you're doing it to kind of tailor what your test is for that week, it'll help you, it's just a double whammy, because it's going to help you prepare for that test that week, and then it's going to help you prepare for the NCLEX. So being consistent, starting before, doing NCLEX questions before you graduate, and then 3, of course, taking a few days off. I don't necessarily recommend doing how I did, like being in the library 5-6 hours, but I knew it was temporary. Like I knew it was going to be temporary, because my fourth thing is, don't delay. Like go ahead and schedule your NCLEX. Don't wait 2 or 3 or 4 months Just do it. So I graduated December 12th. Now that I think about it, I think it was December 12th, 2016. I took my test January 13th, 2017. So it was a little bit over a month that I took my test. Now I tried to, when I did it earlier. I actually scheduled my test earlier. I think I scheduled it like 2 or 3 weeks out from when I graduated. But I got nervous, I got scared. And so, hold on, y'all. They're texting me about this Zoom, y'all.
How you doing? Pretty good. How about you? I'm doing well, sir. Nice background you had there.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you want to talk about nothing.
Okay.
They're talking about marriage and divorce tonight, so I definitely got to go on time. And I'm I'm like the moderator, so I only got about 6 more minutes that I can talk. But Lord, I kind of forgot my point, fooling with them. I'm trying to make sure they weren't trying to tell me something important. But so I tried to like keep rescheduling, but my mama didn't let me. And so that's another thing I recommend, getting somebody that's gonna hold you accountable, that you're telling them about it, and that somebody that's not gonna let you just keep rescheduling. Because honestly, y'all, the longer you wait, the harder it's gonna be, because things just are not as fresh. You lose momentum with studying, and because I don't think I could have kept that momentum going to the library for 5-6 hours every day for 2 or 3 months. So that's why I said, just trust the process, trust God if you're a person of faith, and just put the work in and just do it. Like, don't let too much time go, because you will regret it. And I did find that the people in my class that waited, they didn't do very well. Matter of fact, it was one person, she and I get it, like, you get nervous about it because so much is riding on it, on the NCLEX, but she got so scared about it, she went back to work at Kroger, because that's where she was working before she started nursing school. And she went back to Kroger because she just was like, I'm just too scared to take it. I was like, girl, if you don't take this test, the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get. And then too, when you start working and doing all that, but nobody wants to study for anything when you get off work, especially if you start working in a hospital, because some people will let you, some organizations, hospitals will let you start working, and then they'll let you they'll let you take a test like after you started working. But after you get off a 12-hour shift, the last thing you're gonna want to do is study. So that's why I said, just take the time, take a few days off after graduation, because that is a huge milestone. Graduating from nursing school is a huge milestone. There are so many people that have not been able to accomplish that. So once you do that, take a few days off and then get to work. UWorld is what worked for me, but obviously what worked for me may not work for everybody else. But that's what I found worked the best for me, and I actually found that the UWorld questions were harder than the NCLEX. So that's what I want to end with. I've got 4 minutes. So I was shocked when I got on the test to find that when I got to the actual NCLEX, the questions, I'm not going to say the questions were easy, because I don't think any test that I've taken has necessarily just been easy. But the questions were I was so familiar with them that I felt like that I didn't know if I was being tricked or if I was just super prepared. And that feeling is so hard to understand sometimes, but because I'm just a paranoid person, and that's probably a mental health thing, just not trusting people and trusting, probably trauma from childhood or something. But I literally got on the test and I was like, this is too easy. What's going on? It's trying to trick me. What's going on? But that's just how good UWorld was, and how good my preparation process was, that the questions, I was so prepared that the questions just came so naturally to me that they were easy. And I was very, very blessed. I only had 75 questions. And when it went off, I was like, I don't know what to think. I was like, I do not know what to think right now, because I don't know if the questions were just super easy or if I was being tricked. And it's gone off at 75 questions. So I don't know if I just did so good that the test shut off, or if I just did so bad that the test shut off. So, but by the grace of God, found out it shut off because I did so well. So, I was what a lot of people wanted to have. I only had 75 questions, and I passed the first time by the grace of God. So I just would say, so just to end, because I gotta go, I would just say, trust the process. Trust yourself. You survived nursing school. You made it through nursing school. And if you were able to do that and you put the work in, then you will be able to pass the NCLEX. Like I said, I'm a big endorser of UWorld, but I recommended it for my best friend, and he did it, and it did not work well for him. So find what works best for you. But I think a lot of his issue was he didn't do half right. He didn't put the time and the effort in. But if you put the work in, you do what you're supposed to, you pray, if you're a person of faith, you will get through it. So thank you all for watching my video. I've got 30 seconds until this. They're doing the countdown until this Zoom starts. So I really do thank you all for subscribing. And I love you guys. I love you guys. And just let me know too if there's any topic you all want to talk about. I think my next topic I'm going to probably do is school nursing, because I'm sure there are some people that are interested in that. So, okay guys, I'll see you all next time. Bye.